right, thanks, guys. We went 6-2 yesterday on our premium selections on patreon.com/Brock Page. That's going to improve our record to 64% in our last 22 board member package plays on that website. We're also hitting at 70% in our last 10 college basketball plays on that site as well. Link for that website is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/Brock Page. The Sixers take on the Wizards, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Washington. The Sixers are the 7-point favorite on the road, total at 234. We saw a 1-point move toward Philadelphia and movement upward on the total. The Sixers open as the 6-point favorite, up to -7. Total open 232, up to 234. 75% are leading Sixers, 51% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Wizards are plus 255 on the money line. Now, the Wizards have not been cashing on the money line as of late. Losers in 5 out of their last 6. They also failed to cover in 5 out of those 6 games. The Wizards are in 4th place in the Southeast Division, 8 games back of the top spot in that division. They rank in the bottom 3 in offensive rebounding. Now, Thomas Bryant is listed as out for tonight's action. That is a huge loss for Washington. And Mo Wagner is listed as questionable as well. So Washington potentially depleted here tonight. They rank dead last in points allowed, last in defensive field goal percentage. Now, the Sixers, on the other side, they're starting to heat up a little bit here. 8-1 straight up in their last 9. They rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding as well. Joel Embiid's averaging 22 points a game, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. And Tobias Harris, 18 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists for him. The Sixers rank in the top 5 in points allowed, top 5 in defensive rebounding. And for you fantasy players out there, just keep in mind that Josh Richardson has been listed as out for tonight's action. Now, total-wise, Philadelphia is 13-8 to the under thus far in the year. A lot of unders for this Philadelphia squad. 7 out of their last 9 games fell under the total as well. I'm going to lean toward the road favorite in this one. Give me the Sixers -7 and the under 234 in that game. Next matchup, Nuggets taking on the Knicks. 7:30 Eastern tip-off at Madison Square Garden in New York. The Knicks are not favored in this one. The Nuggets are 7.5 on the road, total at 201 and a hook. Saw a 0.5 point move toward Denver and movement downward on the total. The Nuggets open as the 7-point favorite, up to 7.5. Total open 202, down to 201 and a hook. Right now, the Knicks are plus $3 on the money line. The Knicks are also just 4-17 straight up on the year. They failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6. New York ranks dead last in scoring on average per game, last in field goal percentage. Morris, Payton, and Ntilikina are listed as questionable for tonight's action. Now, the Knicks rank dead last from the stripe. They're also dead last in home scoring. The Nuggets on the other side, they're pretty successful as of late. 7-3 straight up in their last 10. 5-2 straight up on the road this year. They rank at the top 10 in offensive rebounding, and they are ranking first in points allowed in the association. Jamal Murray's averaging 19 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Nikola Jokic, 15 points a game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists for the Joker. Denver ranks at the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They're also first in defending the 3 ball. One more thing to add about Denver, they rank in the top 3 in points allowed on the road. Now, 6 out of Denver's last 7, no surprises here, stayed under the total. They're also 13-5 to the under overall for the year. Now, 4 out of New York's last 6 stayed under the total themselves. They're also 9-2 to the under at MSG. I'm going to purchase the 0.5 point, slide it down, and lean toward Denver -7 and the under 201.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Thursday's NBA action. But before we dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where once again we went 6-2 in our premium selections on that website yesterday. That improved our record to 64% in our last 22 board member package plays on that site as well. And we are currently hitting at 70%. And our last 10 college basketball package plays on that site as well. We do daily premium selections on that site beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And at the end of the show, I'm going to explain it to you, the difference between what we do here on YouTube and that Patreon page. Now, if you're curious and you want to check out my current Patreon record, you can do that right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into our next couple of games. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Rockets taking on the Raptors, 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Toronto. The Raptors are -2, totals at 230. Now, we did see a flip of the line in this one as Toronto opened as the underdog. So we did see a 3-point move toward Toronto in the early wagering. We also saw movement downward on the total. The Raptors opened +1, up to -2. Total opened 230.5, down to 230 even. 52% are leaning Raptors, 66% shaded toward the over. Right now, Houston is plus $1.10 on the money line. Houston's also dropped 4 out of their last 6 games. They rank in the bottom 10 in field goal percentage, bottom 5 in three-point percentage, and they're covering just 40% of their games away from home. Gordon and Green and Nene are still out indefinitely. Daniel House is listed as questionable. Houston ranks in the bottom 5 in points allowed, bottom 5 in defensive rebounding. Now, Toronto's been pretty hot as of late, winners in 7 out of their last 8. They're also 6-2 against the spread in those 8 games. Pretty good at home this year as well. They're winning 90% of their games at home. That's right, 9-1 straight up in the friendly confines. They're 80% against the spread in those 10 games. They rank in the top 10 in scoring on average per contest. Pascal Siakam's averaging 25 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Freddie VanVleet, 19 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. This Toronto squad ranks in the top 3 in three-point percentage, top 10 in points allowed, top 3 in defensive field goal percentage as well. When it comes to the total, we're looking at a Toronto squad who's 6-2 to the over in their last 8. Houston 5-2 to the over in their last 7. I'm going to lean toward Toronto -2 and the over 230 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Suns taking on the Pelicans. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in New Orleans. The Pels are -3, total 233. Saw a half-a-point move toward New Orleans and movement upward on the total. The Pels opened 2.5 up to -3. Total opened 232.5 up to 233. 51% are leaning New Orleans, 55% shaded toward the over. And right now, Phoenix is plus $1.30 on the money line. Now, Phoenix, they've been no slouch with regard to scoring points. They rank in the top 10 in scoring, top 10 in offensive field goal percentage. Top 10 in offensive field goal percentage. They're 5-3 against the spread when traveling this year. 11th in points allowed on the road as well. Top 10 in defending the 3 ball on the road as well. Now, Aaron Baines, he's been upgraded to questionable. We might see him play tonight. Haven't seen him in action in a while, so we could see him on the court. Devin Booker, he's averaging 24 points a game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And Kelly Oubre, 17 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists for him. Now, New Orleans on the other side, they're a little bit banged up right now. We got Favors and Williams listed as questionable. Darius Miller and Zion Williamson out indefinitely. Rumor has it we may not see Zion this year. Now, the Pelicans really struggling as of late. Ice cold right now. Losers in their last 6 straight. Just 1-5 against the spread in those 6 games. They're just 6-15 straight up on the year, 4-7 at home. And they are in last place in the Southwest Division. The Pels rank in the bottom 3 in free throw percentage, bottom 3 in points allowed, bottom 5 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, the Pelicans are 4-0 to the under in their last 4. They're also 7-4 to the under at home. Now, Phoenix on the other side, they are 5-3 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean Phoenix Suns +3 and the under 233 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 6-2 in our premium selections yesterday on that website. I like Phoenix +3, under 233. Toronto -2, over 230. Denver -7, under 201.5. And last but certainly not least, I like Philadelphia -7 and the under 234 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are hitting at 70% in our last 10 college basketball package plays on that website. Shout out to Tiggeroo God, Stephion Norris, Nook Dog G. Shout out to Scott Bryant, Real Hicks for Love, Stephen Lewis, Ralphie DiCongilio, Nick Woodhouse. Shout out to PMC05, Micah Bryan, Martinez Tiskus. Shout out to Ronnie Christie, Cassie Morton, John Doe, Wayne Mabson, Eric Spencer, Will Surf, Tom Beasy, CS Spill 99. Shout out to Love Leakbo, Chung FTW, Billy Boogaloo, and last but certainly not least, shout out to Raider for Life. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again, we went 6-2 in our premium selections on that website yesterday. We're also hitting at we're hitting at 64% in our last 22 board member package plays. We're also hitting at 70% in our last 10 college basketball package plays on that site as well. We do daily premium selections on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Now, a lot of folks will ask me, what's the difference between what you do here on YouTube and that Patreon page? And that's a great question. What we do here on YouTube is we handicap every single game on the board, both the side and the total. And of course, if you were to bet your hard-earned money on every single game, side and total in real life, you're guaranteed to lose your money in the long run. And as a matter of fact, you'll probably end up losing it in the short run as well. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. They have so much money to back up their losses. And, well, the math is always against you. So what we do on Patreon is we really kind of focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're games that I personally have action on. They're high percentage plays. And I'll tell you this much. My current record on Patreon is a lot better than it is on YouTube. And you can actually check out that current record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our Spanish edition, also known as Edición en Español. Yo tengo Phoenix con puntos y los bajos, Toronto -2 y las altas, Denver -7 y los bajos, y finale Philadelphia -7 y los bajos. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to say thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.